And here on the executive stage, I would like to welcome Jean-Pierre Wilschut. I hope I pronounced it well. Hello, Jean-Pierre, good morning.
Hello.
And René Arnau from the Lean Management Institute in the Netherlands. Very good morning to you both.
Good morning, good afternoon.
I hope you can hear me fine.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Great.
Wonderful. That's great. The stage is yours, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Roberto. Warm welcome to Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre is the CEO of ILIAS Solutions, headquartered in Brussels, but offices worldwide. Jean-Pierre, it's an honor to have you here, also as a sponsor, but also as a long-term friend. And I know leadership is very important for you, and not just leadership in the C-level, but basically leadership. You try to guide people in showing their own personal leadership throughout your career, I think. So it's an honor to have you here, and it's a pleasure that you joined us. So take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you, René. Of course, very pleased to be here and to support this initiative. So warm from my side also, a good morning or good afternoon or whatever it is on your side. In the leadership is close to my heart, as of course as a CEO, but I would even say it's all about leadership. There is a lot of things you can manage. You can manage technology, you can manage finance, whatever. But the most important thing and the most difficult thing, and I'll come back to that, is managing people and gearing up people to make a success. So I would rather say it's all about leadership and how you deal with your people. I made a couple of slides, a little presentation to guide you to our insights, and it's not only my insight, but of course the whole management team, and by extension the whole company, which is ILIAS Solutions. And first of all, I'm gonna set this up, and hopefully I got the right one. Technology. I said technology can make technology work, but it's always a challenge to make it work. Normally, this should be it. So I want to talk with you about ownership. As a guiding principle for leadership in general and for how we manage the company. And it's not only with ILIAS, because of course previously I was at PricewaterhouseCoopers as a partner, and yeah, just the same kind of principles applied there. First of all, maybe a couple of words about ILIAS Solutions. Who is ILIAS Solutions? Small company, 200 people at this moment. With 30 years of history at this moment. And what we do is basically we make software for defense, but basically we don't sell software. We sell performance improvement. We help our organizations to minimize their logistics footprint. Defense organizations is about executing missions. That's what they do. It can be training missions, it can be tactical missions. So you see a lot going on in defense, of course, not always for, let's say, for the good of society, but anyway, things happen. And logistics is a supporting activity just to make that happen and to make it possible to execute this mission. So, of course, the less logistics, the better, the more focus on the missions, and that's what we do. That's what we try to help our organizations with, because currently, of course, you see a lot of legacy systems, Excels, and so on, in these vast, big organizations, 10,000, 100,000 of people with a lot of gear, weapon systems, materials, going from T-shirts to food to ammunition, and so on. All this needs to be geared to execute jointly a mission. If you put that in a kind of a scope picture, then we serve as well air, land, and sea customers, so armies, navies, air forces. And say if we talk about logistics, then it's a very broad scope. Logistics in commercial has a different meaning than in defense. In defense, it's all about management, repair, maintenance, overhaul. managing your fleet. It's good to have aircrafts, but if they don't fly, they're not worth anything. So you have to manage your fleets in a proper way. Expeditionary deployment, of course, the missions. You need to prepare, you need to execute. They may be remote, they may be at sea. This needs to be managed. And of course, you need to manage all your gear in one consistent way. Total asset visibility. Where is my stuff? What is the status? What can I use? So this is what we cover with one integrated system, which is a kind of, in this kind of world, a kind of a little miracle. And that's also how the market sees us. We are very successful. And this is, of course, because it's really, say, a totally different way to look at data and to look at information management support. We have a little ambition, and that's just to be the number one. I'm not Dutch, I'm Belgian. So Jean-Pierre is French and Wilschut is Flemish. So you cannot suspect me from little very high thoughts or from high speaking. But we want to be the best in our world, and the best in our world, it's all about focus. We come back on strategy, we come back on focus. Focus is elementary. We focus at the defense market, and in the defense market, we just want to be the best. We just want to be the number one, and we really get there. And you know, Lou Gerstner at the time, he said, who said elephants cannot dance? See the picture. Who said a battle tank cannot fly? So everything is possible in the world. 2 words about our history. We started in 95 for Belgian defense. Belgian defense had a great idea to manage their jet fighter fleet in a better way. And they had some ideas, but said, we're not going to develop this ourselves. We're going to ask a little company, which was at that time not ILIAS, but a software company, to develop it for us. That's what happened with Oracle technology. We made kind of the kernel of what is today ILIAS. Over time, ILIAS was bought by different consultancy companies, Coopers & Lybrand, PricewaterhouseCoopers. We were in the hands of IBM. And 2005, we became privately owned. A number of private shareholders bought the company to develop it further and to bring it into the world. In the meantime, we also, NATO joined the ILIAS system. And so we had a smaller team of customers. And as from 2010, we developed a new strategy, which really it started to implement 2015 fully. And since then, of course, yeah, that's where we are today, 2025, building a community of a vast number of customers, industry partners like Lockheed, Patria, we're part of the Patria group in the meantime, Airbus, but also technology partners. Don't do anything yourself. You can also work with your, say, with the best in the market, and as such, join forces. And of course, we try to get also to tap in some new thinking. Certainly now we talk about AI, but also we talk about about data analysis and so on. And there we tap into the academia for some knowledge. So that's what we are today. We're pretty proud. If you go to the left of source, you see a lot of logos. Maybe it's not so obvious what is what, but I want to emphasize two. And then one is the most important one, I think, at this current stage is Ukraine. So we are the defense management system of the Ukraine Air Force. And later on also the Army and the Navy. So we're very, very proud of that. We can contribute to that, say, to what is currently going on. And also EFTC, so it is the European F-16 Training Center, which is preparing not only the Ukraine pilots with the F-16s, but also Eastern European or Central European users of F-16. So something we do together with Lockheed Martin. So besides that, of course, a lot of logos around the world. So we truly become a global company with these challenges. put that in figures. So we did a lot of investments until 2010. Sorry, until 2015, then we started to grow, and then you see actually this is picking up. And this plan is a plan we already made like 10, 15 years ago. So this is not something that is very new, and that is also related to the current defense spending at this time. This is already something that we envisioned 15 years ago, and we're still on track. And I think we will exceed expectations. We will exceed. We will overperform again because, of course, the market is really developing very fast at this moment in defense. I mean, at the moment we have 5 offices. We started in Brussels. In the meantime, Almere and Copenhagen, but also over the Atlantic, in the US, of course, a very big defense market, and also to serve our customers on the other side of the world in Australia, APAC. So that is little our little journey so far, and going strong. Okay, then going back to the team. What about how did we do this? Well, of course, it's all about the strategy and be consistent in a strategy. We really developed the strategy, our strategy 10, 15 years ago. Like, okay, who do you want to be? How are we going to approach the market? And we consistently followed this track. And of course, in the strategy, indeed, there is a market. Who do you want to be? What do you want to deliver? Who will you be for your customers? What market did we like to serve? So this is one end of your strategy, also your go-to-market. And the other side is then, how are we going to do this? I mean, what are the principles? What is the organization? What is the instrument, of course, that we're going to develop just to make this all happen? And I must say, the top end, what here on the slide, the market, is maybe the most easy one. And this may be surprising. It's like, how can this be so easy? Well, it's kind of being consistent. You have a lot of, when you start developing it with a lot of smart people, you can also include some consultants. And of course, it's a question of being consistently developing this. And it's something that you can control very, very easily. On the other side, organization tends to be the most complex because it's constantly change. If there's one consistent thing, then it's change. Of course, the organization is growing. We grew from 20 people up to 200, 250. So there are new needs, new people coming in, experienced junior people all over the world, different cultures. You need to blend everything in. You need to make them work together. And this is what tends to be the most difficult part of all. And this also, if you look at our management teams, we have weekly management teams, and then every month, of course, we have a full day that we sit together to discuss new developments and how to cope it further. Then you see, now I would say that 75% of the time, it's about organization, how to do things, and 25%, it's about maybe the market and the products. This runs steadily, this evolves. The other one is needs constant care. So it's all about the organization. It's all about, and if you talk about the organization, it's all about leadership. We just emphasized. Okay, let's talk further about the organization. And if developing the organization, of course, there are 3 elements I think which are important and which consistently hook into each other. First of all, of course, you start with a clear strategy. And this is kind of also the design within your strategy. You already give direction to your organization. And of course, if you have no direction, it's very difficult, of course, to steer a team, or to lead a team, or to lead an organization. You need direction, and a clear direction. So that's what it's all about. Secondly, so there's question of design. What I already said. So you put smart people together. And if you put smart people together, then you can develop this strategy in a very, very consistent way. The second part really gets a little bit more tough. It's about, I would call it the values or the direction or the principles in which you are about to manage this organization. I mean, What is the style? How do you want it? Do you really want to have it very centrally managed, really very directive, a very stiff structure? Or do you want to do it in another way? Do you really will give responsibility in the field? And then we talk about, indeed, about ownership, responsibility, trust, and we come back to that. The third one is something that you really cannot produce or really cannot design or really cannot make yourself. It's something that grows. Of course, you can try to influence it, but it's something that grows, but it's elementary in your organization. It's about company culture. How do people feel in the organization, and this sense of well-feeling will make them performant. Will also make your values bloom, will also make your principles work, and also help you to develop your strategy. So culture, value, strategy, they're all hook into each other. And let's go a little bit more in detail about that. First of all, about strategy. Already emphasized the word a couple of times, but no organization or no leadership without strategy. You need to be very, very clear to your people what you want to be, who you want to be, to your customers, but also internally. I mean, what are we here for in the market? What do we want to develop? But I started with saying, yeah, we are a software company, but basically what we want to do is help our customers to perform better. So what we sell is performance improvement and not software. So we're not a technology seller. We are more, let's say, we act more like a consultancy company. But of course, the software is important just to be scalable, to make all the knowledge that we have to put it quicker into the market. So, but this small distinction, like, okay, what do we really bring to the market? We're not a technology company. We work on performance improvement, is already, say, a very important something also for everyone internally in the organization to understand. Scalability. So we don't do one-offs. Everything we do, we try to make it more scalable. Also in our implementation. If you do an implementation, let's catch all, let's say, the lessons learned so that the next time we can do it better, smarter, quicker, and so on. So scalability is elementary also in our strategy. Collaboration, don't try to do everything yourself. Also very important for developers who like to develop everything. Don't do that. I mean, there are champions in the market. Let's make an alliance. Let's work together. It may result to less investments, more margin, and maybe a better product. So there are a few examples. But it's elementary that everyone understands very much, again, why we're here on the market, who we are, what we want to do, and so on. It's obvious, maybe obvious with 20 people. However, if you grow like to 100, 200, 300, and so on, well, this message may dilute. And this is so important. And we saw that we have troubles with that. Of course, we have different groups of people. So on the one hand, we have developers, very technical people, but also we have ex-military people, lieutenant colonels, captains, whatever, officers, commissioned officers, whatever, who work for us. And then, of course, we have supporting staff. So there is a blend of juniors, seniors, and all these kind of flavors, leave alone also the different nationalities. So, and we saw that really this was not obvious. We kept on, even if we communicated the strategy 500 times, I took every occasion really to emphasize again all these elements about our strategy. We still had questions like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, this sounds like new. Yeah, sometimes I'm very sorry. You would like to kill them. This is a joke. So so is it like, okay, we need to really emphasize this, because again, I mean, it's very difficult to have you cannot have 11 smart people, but therefore you don't have a Champions League team. They need to understand, I mean, how the game works, and how we need to work together. It's not because you have 140 night musicians that you have the Wiener Philharmoniker. So we need to gear everyone up, all the noses in the same direction, and then we are strong. If we go all different ways, then of course we may even hinder each other.
Mm.
So to implement that, a year ago, I said we need to do this at the basis. So we started with what we call ACE. It stands for alignment, connection, engagement. And it is kind of, and 4 times a year we do an event, 3 days, 4 days. We take everyone apart somewhere at a nice place, and we really the juniors, seniors, new people, and also the senior people. So we make a blend of the new people coming into the organization, let's say 10, something like this. And also we take people who are already maybe for years in the organization, because also they need a refreshment of the strategy. It's not that the strategy changes a lot, but we need to refresh it because it's so important. So we put them together, and then we have 3 days of presentations, panel discussions, workshops, team building. So basically at the end, we have two effects. Everyone, of course, has been induced by these strategy messages, like everything I just emphasized. But secondly, also there is kind of a nice team building between the senior people in the organization and the junior people, and also, let's say, the technology people with the military people. So try to understand each other is also a very elementary aspect. So this ACE, as we call it, these ACE sessions are very welcomed in the organization. Everyone loves it. And of course, there are some follow-ups that we implement. But again, emphasizing strategy. What is it all about? Giving direction, making clear what we want to do, what we do not want to do. Strategy is mostly about what we not want to do, rather than. So this is important. And of course, it's about the big picture. Second one is of values, of course. If you talk about values, then we talk about how are we going to manage this whole organization. And of course, we are very much, and I'm very much, but together with me also, let's say, the full management team and let's say, basically also the organization, into giving a lot of responsibility on the floor, down in the organization. Let the organization take ownership. We all hire very smart people, and we pay them a lot of money for their expertise and for their experience. So, of course, I mean, we need to also to be respectful to these people. I mean, if you hire all these smart people and then you're going to tell them every day what to do, I mean, this doesn't correspond. I mean, use their experience, use their expertise. So respectful leadership is also tapping on and having trust on the people you hire and tapping into their knowledge and to their experience. And of course, they can go to coach them in their part. Also, the junior people. And by the way, also junior people can contribute a lot of new elements, new thinking, maybe in technology, but also, let's say, in other elements, in other dimensions. It's a very important thing. So it's an asset. It's also an asset test for your strategy, obviously, because really, if you give a responsibility, you have to be clear what you expect from people, not tell them every day, but really send them into the field and give them instructions, and that's it. So, and it's kind of fostering entrepreneurship. So we want to be entrepreneurs, and even sometimes people leave because they really want to be entrepreneur, not in software, something different. Then we also have to welcome this, say, well done. And I really support it, even if I'm sorry to let them go. I really love these people to become an entrepreneur, like I'm an entrepreneur myself. Is this new? It's not new, because already in 1850, so this is like 170 years ago, the Prussian army, they had sort of concept like Auftragstaktik. I'm sorry, my German is not so good. But this was really what I developed here. It was not like a century developed. It's a defense, of course, concept, and all of concept like logistics also comes from defense, and also organizational concepts. It was really like not read a really centrally organized and a centrally decided organization, but really let people give them a mission. And this mission, of course, in the field, things change the whole time. So, and instead of following up and try to cope with all these changes, let them decide. They know what they have to do. They know what the mission is. Let them decide how to change then the approach. So give them responsibility in the field. I invite you, look at them, Google it. It's very useful, and it's really amazing how in 1850 already this kind of concept already were in the market. Last but not least, culture. And of course, culture is also one of my favorites. Culture is really, let's say, the embedded, it's really the basis of everything to grow. It's like, yeah, the field, the soil where everything can grow. Can you influence it? Yes. Can you really design it, make it? No, you can't. It's something that really you blend in, and it really starts to develop it in the organization. I mean, we're kind of blessed, I think, in the organization that we have a clear mission, and also the sense of purpose. We kind of feel that we contribute in one way or another to the security today in the world. A maybe very small bit, maybe it's maybe a pebble in, let's say, a very big rock, but we contribute, and everyone feels it that way. We take really ourselves in that sense very serious, and that's something which blends us together. But also the sense of belonging, giving people a right to fail. If you give them ownership, if you give them, make them entrepreneurs, they will fail. Of course, they will fail. Not everything is a success. We also fail as managers. Sometimes we have a great idea, it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. So give them the opportunity to fail, let them grow, let them learn from it, and put them back, let's say, and send them back, let's say, with this experience. So this is very important, and this cohesive feeling like we are a team. And I'm very pleased that the people ourselves, they really emphasize like we are ILIAS in the organization. There's a little movie who I think makes it a little bit, puts us in a picture, puts it in a video, but it's really saying this sense of belonging, this sense of home base. And then it's further important also because, of course, I mean, we're very spread in the organization. We have 4 offices. We have customers around the world, from Chile to Indonesia to whatever, to Australia and so on. So people are a little bit everywhere. So it's very important that we have this sense of belonging to the organization, even if we are geographically spread all over the place. So this home base should give them first a safe haven. I mean, this is, I can do my thing here. I can develop. So important. Should make them proud of what we are doing all together. Like, wow, we really make it work. It should also be challenging, of course. I mean, we're constantly growing, we're developing new products, we're developing new customers. And of course, this is every day is a new challenge in the market and as a team. And also this inspires people too. One thing maybe I like to emphasize also within the culture in general. So culture is a blend of different things. Of course, we have business culture, which is important for us, but this is inspired by different other elements of culture. And one element of culture is certainly, say, the diversity of nationalities we have. Already emphasized different offices and so on, and also the different customers we have. But within ILIAS, of 200 people at this moment, we have 22 nationalities. So 22 all over the world. So this is important. And if I have 2 more minutes, no, I don't. I wanted to emphasize maybe
last takeaways for people. What can they take from you?
Yeah, I think very important. I already emphasized a couple of times is given a clear direction. So if you want to be a good leader, if you want to emphasize leadership, if you want to give ownership, it's certainly, I mean, it should be very clear for everyone what the direction of the company is, and not necessarily say in financial targets. It's like, yeah, this is the new budget and this is the new cost, but what are we here for? Who do you want to be? I mean, what is our thinking for everyone? What are the principles? And like I said, for instance, scalability, the element of focus. I mean, focus.
I have to cut you short. So thanks a lot, Jean-Pierre.
Hi there.
Your willingness.
So thank you, Jean-Pierre. Thank you for sharing the story from ILIAS. Great presentation. Appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Always
Welcome. Thank you.